Hello and welcome to today's webinar, the Career Leadership Experience Case Competition Introduction. My name is Kelsey Keefe, my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a career consultant at the Yukon Center for Career Development. I'm going to be going over a lot of information, and I've put this content in a handout for you. You can find that in Husky CT as well as attached to the live webinar. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's webinar. You should see your attendee interface on your computer desktop in the upper right corner. You're listening in using your computer speaker system by default. If you would prefer to join over the phone, just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation. These will be addressed during the question and answer session at the end of the presentation. Once you leave today's webinar, you'll be directed to an evaluation for the presentation, and we would appreciate it if you would complete that and provide your feedback. Note that today's presentation is being recorded and will be emailed to all webinar registrants within 24 hours. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what a case competition is because some of you may have participated in one or more competitions before, and for some of you this might be the first time. Our definition of a case competition includes 3 parts. A case competition is an event where teams receive a written case about a real or hypothetical company and have a limited period of time to work on it. During this period, the teams must identify the most prominent issues facing the company and develop a strategy to address these key issues in order to help the company achieve their goal. It's really an opportunity for you as a group of students to showcase your skills and knowledge. You'll be faced with a challenge that a company is facing, whether it's real or made up, and you'll be able to identify what you think are the key steps that company needs to take in order to achieve the goals they have set related to some of those challenges they're facing. Teams are not expected to be experts on the case material, rather they're expected to use the information provided in the case, plus some outside research that they do to form a strategy that they will present to a panel of judges at the end of the competition. Again, you're not expected to be an expert on the case material before leading into this case. Rather, you're expected to really synthesize the information that you're provided in the case and do some of your own outside research, whether that's online or any other manner that you can think of, and combine all of that information to present your final solution. And just a couple of words about winning strategies, what they usually entail. Winning strategies are usually relevant, practical, creative, and inclusive. So that means you want to make sure that you're approaching the situation from all angles, being as creative as you possibly can, and making sure that the solution is actually realistic for the company to achieve those goals that they had set for themselves. This case competition is really meant to give you an opportunity to apply the knowledge that you're learning in your classes to a real-world scenario. We know that all of you are learning a ton of skills and content knowledge in the various classes that you're taking, and you can apply those to the real world through an internship or through a job or through maybe a volunteer opportunity. But a case competition is a really cool additional way to do that in more of a short-term, in this case, virtual setting. And you can do that directly with an employer that you could potentially establish a connection with and have that benefit you in the future. In particular, when it comes to the skill sets that you're going to be demonstrating, there's a variety of them, but some of the ones that are particularly key in this case competition includes problem solving and critical thinking, because you're presented with an issue or a problem and you have to come up with a solution or suggestion for the company to address that and the challenge. There's teamwork, communication, and leadership because you will be working with a number of other students on this project, so that can really help you strengthen your skills and demonstrate your skills in those areas. And additionally, public speaking is going to be part of the final presentation component of this case competition. And global perspective is another skill included in the case competition, given the topics of many of the cases being presented. Another benefit in relation to your network is that you will get to network with some other UConn students. You're part of a really big group of students here at UConn, and it's impossible to get to know all of them. But this program does bring a lot of students together with similar interests and similar passions, and people who really want to network and connect in this way. So people tend to leave case competitions with connections to other students that they might not have made otherwise. The cases will be provided by employers that recruit UConn students: COCC, Compass Youth Programs, Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection, Enterprise, Great Oak Charter, Horizons, HPE, LEGO, Salvation Army Waterbury, Slalom, Target, and Teach for America. You will each review the cases and complete a survey ranking your top 5 cases, and I'll talk about how you can do that in a moment. The Career Leadership Experience Program Coordinators will use these rankings to create teams of 3 to 4 and assign each team a case. Each team will also represent at least 2 different schools or colleges if possible. Note that we'll try our best to match you up with your preferred cases, but we can't guarantee that everyone will get their first choice or one of their top choices. And unfortunately, we cannot accommodate teammate requests. So getting into the timeline, Part 1, obviously you know today is our introductory webinar, which will also be shared on Husky CT. Part 2, all of you need to review the employer case summaries. Once you've completed that, there's a survey for you to fill out to tell us your preferred cases to work on. The cases and the link to the survey are currently posted in Husky CT. You need to review the cases and complete the survey to rank your preferences by Wednesday, June 24th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. If you do not complete the survey before we go to make the teams, we will just put you somewhere. Part 3. Over the next 2 days, we will take your ranking preferences into account and sort all of you into groups of 3 to 4. Again, we will try our best to take your top choices into consideration, but we can't make any promises. We will post your case and teammate assignments in Husky CT on Friday, June 26th, which wraps up week 4 of the Career Leadership Experience program. Part 4. You will have about 2 weeks to work with your team on the case, reviewing the case, doing your research, developing recommendations, and creating a video presentation. Keep in mind this part where you work on your case overlaps with a week off from new program content for Independence Day and then week 5 of the program. Part 5. During week 6 of the CLE program, each team will choose one member to upload a video of your presentation to a Google Drive folder. This upload needs to be by Monday, July 13th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Note that this is the first day of week 6. The link to the Google Drive folder will be in Husky CT under week 6, but I'll also post an announcement with it sooner so you can upload it early if you'd like. Part 6. During week 6, a panel of judges from each employer will review the presentations. Part 7. Each case will have a winner, and we'll post that on Husky CT on Friday, July 17th. Now I'll talk a bit more about the final presentations. You can and are encouraged to do outside research to support your work. You will also be expected to cite any sources that you use to help develop your strategy. That can be in a recognized format of your choosing, such as APA or MLA. Presentations must be in the form of a video that includes both visual elements such as slides and auditory elements such as narration. This webinar is an example of that. All team members must have a visual or speaking part in the final presentation. Since this is an online program and we can't have you physically stand in front of us to present, we really want to make sure that everybody is contributing and has an active role in the presentation that's submitted. Videos may not exceed 10 minutes in length. Presentations that exceed the time limit will be disqualified, so make sure you're keeping yourselves accountable with that limit. Videos must be saved in a file format that is supported by Google Drive for in-browser playback. You are also able to include any additional complementing handouts that you think help illustrate the points of your presentation, or provide additional context as to where you came up with your findings and results. This handout can be up to one sheet, so front and back, but this certainly is not required. All materials submitted must include your team's name and the file name, as well as the document itself. That would include the video and a handout if you choose to have one. We want to make sure we're pairing the correct materials together. One person per team will upload the completed video and optional handout to your designated team folder by Monday, July 13th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Submissions that do not meet this deadline will be disqualified. The panel of judges for each employer will score each presentation based on the following criteria. Relevance, the degree to which each team's recommendation addressed all elements of the case. Practicality, the degree to which the team's recommendations could be implemented with reasonable resources. Was this something that could be immediately implemented in a business functionality, or is this something that would require additional resources that may not be currently available? Creativity, the degree to which the team balanced ideas generated from research and original ideas. We want to make sure that you're not necessarily just copying and pasting other ideas that have been done in the past, or just kind of slightly tweaking what's been done. So really think about what's been done and how it could be improved upon, or how you uniquely approach it. Inclusivity, the degree to which the team's recommendations take into account all stakeholders who may be impacted. So again, this is not only your employer, but also the employer's customers as well. This could also impact any kind of shareholders, the larger community, and different individual identities of customers. So really make sure that you're being inclusive in the way that you think about planning your strategy. Each team will receive a final score based on an average from all judges. Winners for each case will be announced in Husky CT on July 17th. Members of the winning first place team for each employer will receive a Center for Career Development prize pack. Prize distribution process is still being determined due to COVID-19, but will likely be picked up at each team member's respective campus when our office reopens in-person operations. If you have any questions, please submit any general questions to the discussion thread in Husky CT. Please check to see if a question has already been asked before starting a new thread. You can just add your question to that existing thread. And if you have any personal or private questions, please email careerpresentations@uconn.edu. That wraps up my case competition introduction. Thank you so much, and now we're going to move into the question and answer session. As a reminder, you can still submit questions through the question pane in your attendee control panel.